guys. You are tuned in to an all-new episode of Point of View. Y'all, it is Friday.
Yay, thank God.
Oh my goodness. We made it, y'all.
We did.
We did.
Hey, but before we get into this interesting topic, we want to say happy birthday, Niecy Nash. Today she will be turning the big 5-0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yes,
really
ma'am. Happy birthday.
Better with age.
Yes.
It's the hair for me.
Oh, she looks amazing. I loved her in this show. A lot of people have never watched the show, but it plays on the Style Network. It was called Who Wants a Clean House?
I watched it. I love that show.
Really? I used to love that show so much, but she looked good.
She do look good. I've never seen that show, but she's always looked really good.
Yes.
So the celebration for Black History Month continues, and today we would like to take the time to highlight Will Smith.
Yes.
You all know him. He is one of the most versatile actors to ever do it. So today we just want to give him his flowers and celebrate him during Black History Month.
Yes.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of my favorite shows growing up.
Yes, for real.
So let's take a look at this clip and remember one of his most iconic
Great
scenes
job without
from
him.
that show.
I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
Don't cry,
That was so good.
Yeah, that was
He's
iconic.
so good.
Yeah, I used to love Fresh Prince.
Always
That
been
was
so
just
good.
as good
Like,
as The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
his range is crazy. Hancock was also one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Like,
I
Men in
love
Black.
Hitch.
Oh my God.
I love Hitch.
Yes.
Wow. He
Well,
is amazing.
in other news, this is a story all about how PORSHA Williams' life got twisted upside down. Real Housewives of Atlanta star PORSHA Williams and her husband, Simon GUOBADIA, recently filed for divorce after just 15 months of marriage. Now, recently on social media, they made some posts and everything looked so perfect, but looks can be very deceiving.
Always.
So in a recent episode, we all talked about old school marriage versus new school marriage, but with just 15 months of marriage and filing for divorce, that kind of seems a bit off, right? So when things like this happen, like we can't help but to question, what's the point of marriage these days?
15 months is really crazy. Like, what is that? A year and a half? A
Yeah,
year and less
a
than
year
a
and
half?
less than a half.
Oh, no.
She didn't even make the half.
Yeah.
It's a year and a quarter?
Yeah.
Just about.
Exactly that.
A year and a piece, a year?
Yeah.
A year and a piece of a year?
Yeah, that's sad. But I don't think that it should make us question what is the point of marriage, because marriage is just how we were designed to be. It is better for procreation, for healthy and stronger families, and different things like that. And I do think that PORSHA definitely has been in the pursuit of marriage.
Yeah, she has.
And I was hoping that this would be it for her. So, I'm hoping that if this truly is not it, that she finds, the love that satisfies, the love that she has to give, because she seems like she has a lot of love to give.
Yeah.
But Simon, I always thought he gave fraud.
He did.
Really?
That's why
Yeah.
they denied his green card. So he was allegedly, he had applied for his green card through a fake identity. That's why he applied with his citizenship through fake identity. That's why all of it got denied.
Wow.
And then he was allegedly arrested. So he had a lot of fraudulent activities, hence why they denied his citizenship. And he was deported back in the day. He was deported temporarily and he came back, and now he's applying for his citizenship. So it was fraudulent. They just did not deny him.
Yeah.
So for PORSHA, she's not going back home with him.
Yeah.
If he gets deported,
She said, I'm not ready to go back to the motherland.
yeah, like,
But maybe this was also her karma, though, like for taking somebody else's man.
She didn't. I don't
Her
know.
friend man.
No, I feel like
that
that's
wasn't her friend.
Yeah, and
Are
that
you
thing was
sure
on the
that
out.
she didn't go to her or his house when he had a woman? and that was her
that was
friend?
of a friend.
And that was on Love and Hip Hop. All of that is fake. She probably didn't even know the girl at all.
Real Housewives.
yeah.
Same thing.
Same difference. Same difference.
Same thing. Yeah, I feel like that was a
think that they
friend of
was
a friend.
friends?
That's like Okay, this is how I feel.
Or
I feel like
associates, there was
that's
associates.
you introducing me to your friend, and then you
Okay.
invited me to your friend's house, and I met your friend's husband, and then later down the line, I married your friend's husband. I have no loyalty to your friend. That's your friend. It sucks for you because you're in the middle. Sorry.
But
It's shady. It is a little bit shady, but at the end of the day, they specialize in shade, first of all, so
Yeah.
none of us should be shocked. And then on top of that, that marriage that he had, I can't even remember what that young girl's name was, but that seemed like that was way over and done with.
Yeah.
And clearly with all of his green card issues, it probably was simply a marriage of convenience so he can try to get his green card because
Right.
supposedly he's had 5 ex-wives. So
I was
he's
gonna
been
say.
grasping
oh, he's
at
been
this-
trying.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
You don't think
Maybe
this
he
is the same
thinks-
thing with Portia? Do y'all think he really loved Portia?
I think so.
I think they capitalized on the moment. They were both in entertainment. When you're planning a wedding, it can be fun.
What do he
And
do in
it's a whole
entertainment?
3 weddings.
Yeah.
She had 3.
right. Because it was, I'm not gonna lie, for a moment when I was looking at my wedding, I went back, it became a catalog. All of her wedding looks, and they brought so much attention.
So do you think she's divorcing him to avoid the backlash of all of his criminal things?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
She
definitely.
filed?
She has a brand
She
to
did
protect.
file.
She filed.
Yeah,
Okay.
She has a brand to protect. Yes, he has money, and African money is much different than American money.
Yeah.
Very
But-
brand?
different.
Other than like
Reality
a reality,
TV.
okay. Just
That's a
TV
brand.
She
star.
has a
She's a
hair
personal
company
brand.
and a linen
Oh, she
company.
has
as
And
well.
her hair company is really
Okay.
big because I've worked with it as a stylist plenty of times. People are
Okay.
constantly bringing it. It is good hair. So.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, she's doing
incredible.
something.
She's doing something.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she has something to protect.
And
because
she's a
she
household
could-
name.
Yeah.
So she's definitely a brand.
You say anybody say Portia, we gonna know exactly who you're
That's
talking
it.
about.
I just
Well, a
wanted to
black
know what
household,
else
probably.
she had going on. Like what
Yeah.
else she do other than reality TV.
I respect her. You know, I think she did it to protect her brand because she has a personal brand and she
Yeah.
has other brands going on. And then after she did all of that with her 3 weddings, she got a lot of stuff going on and a lot going for her. So no, I don't think she's willing to sacrifice everything that's coming to her for fraudulent activity, especially if he lied to her.
Yeah.
And,
How she didn't know.
exactly. And then, I mean, I want to say maybe she didn't know all what he had going on, but realistically, when we start dating somebody, like I know when I was younger, if you're dating someone regular, but especially someone like of semi-character or
Yeah.
caliber, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna Google them first quarter. What's popping?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you a pedophile? What's going on? So maybe she did know what was going on, but maybe she didn't know the extent, or you know, even if you, in light of someone's past, you kind of feel like, you know, okay, these butterflies, and you know, we have this what seems like love. Maybe it's gonna be different.
Sometimes you can
shouldn't
overlook
care.
when you have like the love glasses, you can overlook a lot of things. So I do feel you
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
A lot of people are questioning, was it real from the beginning? You know, after 15 months of divorce, was it ever even real? But to answer you guys is, because you were like, what else has Portia done? She actually used to be a cheerleader for a football team. Yeah. On top of that, she owns Go Naked. Her hair. Yeah.
You said it like it was the most iconic
She
thing.
did. Well, no,
Girl.
'cause this is something that she's done to kind of like, I guess, put her a little bit in the limelight. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah.
Okay.
And then she owns Go Naked Hair and then a linen company that's actually doing pretty well too. I honestly was rooting for their marriage because, like you had mentioned before, like she really was like, she really had a strong desire to have a family
Yeah.
and like be a wife.
Yeah.
And just for like, you know, her to get into this marriage and it ends. I don't know what made it end, but
Yeah.
it's kind of sad.
She did exactly what she.
But just
everybody.
because they filed for divorce doesn't technically mean that it will end, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I guess we have to
They could
see.
just be mad at each other right now.
Yeah.
girl, no,
I'm not
divorce
mad
is-
at going through a whole divorce.
Divorce, yeah, no, you can go in the other room.
then she is getting back on the Real Housewives, right? She's getting back on the Real Housewives.
She
so,
is.
You know
She's
how
still
stuff
a
goes with
housewife,
TV.
though?
You kind of, you know, need that new buzz. And yeah, she's still a housewife. Look at all the basketball wives and all these people don't be married.
Oh.
Yeah, so even if she's not a housewife, she's still relevant.
I just feel like, why do they be on those shows if they're not actually that title?
They're grasping
Another
for
conversation.
straws.
They housewives? No, I
Well, no, she took a break
understand.
from Housewives for like almost 2 seasons. She hasn't
Yeah.
been on the last 2 seasons of Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
I watch
wanting
Housewives.
exactly what we are created to want: marriage, family, husband, wife. That's that's the ideal, that's really what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So she's not wrong
Yeah.
for wanting that,
Yeah.
but also I don't think she's wrong for getting divorced. You lied to me.
Yeah.
How can I have a life with you? Can I trust you? Now also that's fraud.
Yeah.
You know, so can I trust you with my finances and my businesses and stuff?
Yeah, and then it's also too, I feel like, wanting that family and that whole complete family unit and marriage and all that stuff. And then when you become a wife, maybe in that, who knows, she could have felt like, you know what, I'm losing my identity, like we were talking about the other day. So maybe even her getting back on the show was wanting something again for herself. Or even that time
Wanting
to,
that old Portia back.
Yeah, because when you do get married, it's a compromise
Yeah.
in life, and culturally, African and Caribbean men do have very powerful expectations and heavy expectations,
do.
and it might not be something she's willing to compromise on.
Yeah.
So it could be a bunch of different things.
Well, hopefully,
That was a
I mean,
short
I have to
marriage,
think
baby.
that
Yeah,
if he is
honestly.
5 times divorced, he may be really good
The
at
problem.
and he also
Yeah.
may be good at protecting his money. So hopefully, she can walk away with something.
Hopefully. Well, Portia, I wish you the best. I hope everything
Yes, we
works
wish
out
you the
for
best,
you. And I'm excited to
Portia.
see you on Real Housewives this coming season. Well, you guys know here at POV, we have the best conversations and the juiciest topics. So go ahead and get a little comfortable, grab a snack, and come back for the discussion. We're going to take a short break, okay? Don't go anywhere. You are watching POV.
Yay!
Where you going? Don't go nowhere.
You should have grabbed them chips before the show started.
And where do you think you're going? We have more piping hot tea. But this isn't hot tea, though. This is just water.
Hold on, baby. We only got 10 seconds left.
9,
8, 7,
6.
5,
4, 3,
2.
No, y'all, we just gotta.
Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so as we all know, life can throw us, curveballs. Life is a roller coaster, and sometimes we have to make sacrifices for our loved ones. So singer Normani recently made an announcement that she is taking a break from her career after finding out that both of her parents were diagnosed with cancer. Ugh, cancer sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it really, really does. And both of your parents, that's so unfortunate. But I know this was a very difficult decision for Normani to make, especially being that she's at the peak of her career. So this brings me to the question, would you sacrifice your career for your loved ones?
Been there, done that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, been there, done that.
Oh yeah, you've told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your lover.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I'm not. Not for my lover.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, not for my lover. No, I'm not sacrificing my career for that again. Don't recommend. But for my family, I really feel like this is a situation. I feel like it's situational for different families. I'm gonna say that because I feel like if you have a super close knit family, you're more willing to sacrifice for them. You know what I'm saying? Like you're more willing, like, I can't go to work today because I gotta go take care of my mom, you know, and me and my mom are like this, you know, like, but if you and your mom have a distant relationship, you're probably gonna be like, oh, well, you know, like I'll call the nurse, you know, like, or I'll, you know, like go check on her after I get off of work, you know, like you're not as willing to run to their, you know, beck and call like as soon as they call you. You know what I'm saying? So I actually have a distant family. Like we're not as close knit as I would like us to be. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna run immediately, like at every call. It just has to be a super emergency.
Yeah, I understand. Normani, she's like right now at the peak of her career. Like I honestly do love Normani. Like look at her.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's freaking gorgeous. She has a
gets it
beautiful
done.
voice. But no, I feel like Normani is in a place in her career that a lot of other people aren't. For example, she probably has a savings big enough to be able to take that time off.
Yeah.
There are people who, like, you have to keep working, whether if somebody gets sick or, you know, something happens to a family member. How are you going to pay for it? So I feel like not a lot of people are in that position that Normani is in to be able to take that time off. Me personally, I am very close with my mother, and I for sure in a heartbeat would, you know, set my career aside if I had to be the person to take care of my mother in whatever situation. My daddy, on the other hand, you left me, so you left us when we were young, so I don't know. I'd be like, oh, I hope you feel better, you know. But that goes back to you saying, like, you know, I'm not close.
It depends on the
him.
relationship.
Yeah.
I really feel like it depends on the relationship that you have with that family, with that family member, or with your family in general.
Right, and
Depends
clearly
on
for
how fast you'll
Normani,
run to
she's
them.
close with her parents. For her to be able to sacrifice, you know,
her career on pause.
at the peak of it.
I mean, you could look at it both perspectives. Either she's super close with her parents and willing to sacrifice and do anything for them, or she wasn't super close with her parents, and this is possibly
Saving
the last
that
opportunity, her last opportunity to have that moment, those moments with her. So it really is situational, and it's however we look at it, but only they would know.
Right.
What's the true reason of why you're sacrificing? Because also the parents, I'm not gonna lie, as a parent myself, if I'm sick, I would not allow my daughter to sacrifice her future if I'm gonna pass. You know, I wouldn't allow my daughter to put herself in a position, because once I'm gone, what does she have?
Right.
I'm putting her in a compromising position to possibly. With entertainment, it's either you got it now and you have to run with it right now. So you got to look at it all perspective. Yes, she's doing that, and I know the relationship I'm going to have with my daughter is going to be super tight. But and she's going to be like, "Mom, whatever you need." No, you have to focus on you. This is your life, your future.
Yeah.
It's not
'Cause what if
supposed
she
to.
loses
There's
that
still a
moment
world
around?
after you're
me.
gone.
With or without me, life goes on.
Right.
So for me, I am like very family oriented. Like my family is my whole world.
Yeah.
That's my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my cousins, my sisters, like, you know, and we're kind of small, but we are like very close. So for me, it's like a no-brainer. You know, I would definitely sacrifice anything that I have going on, no bounds, for my family, for their happiness, for their health, their safety. And it's sad that it's not like that, you know, for everyone, but that goes to the way that maybe their family maybe makes them feel comforted, you know, like my family.
How they were treated.
Yeah, my family, I know that they love me, and if it came down to it, they would sacrifice for me. And I also feel like on maybe like a faith-based level, I know that, like, you know, everything and everyone makes us feel like if you miss your moment, that's it. And some things in life are like that. But I think that, like, if something is meant for you, you can't miss that moment. You may miss that moment today, but God is going to open up a door, a window, a back alley so that it comes back around for you. And I feel like you're also rewarded for the good and the sacrifices that you make. God rewards our sacrifices. So maybe her sacrificing that time, you know, from her work or her project or whatever she's working on, God will give her double for her trouble, for one, and that may be time where she can find healing alternatives for her family. Maybe they won't pass, and even if they do, she has the memories of the sacrifices that she made for them. And it can also be an example to someone else that we can't get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and think that we're so attached to these things in our careers, and if we lose it, then that's our car, that's our this, is our that. Even though those things are so important, I do believe that whatever you sacrifice, God will bring back something better.
Yeah, the point you're making, like, I actually had met a nurse who had told me that, like, she's noticed, like, a Black culture, we go all out for our parents. Like, she says when it comes time, like, when, like, parents are on deathbeds, like, she's noticed that Black people, like, really all come together and they really, like, drop everything for their family.
Yeah.
So even down to a cultural level, like, I do believe it's normal for us to just do that, and how you have mentioned even in the Bible, it does say in the Bible, like, our parents take care of us growing up, and at some point we have to return the favor at the end and take care of them. But to the point of sacrificing your career, that's big. Like, that's really, really big.
Yeah, but I think that even with jobs, careers, all of those things, it depends and it's case sensitive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we don't want to sacrifice our careers, but our careers would sacrifice us in the drop of a dime.
Yeah, they would.
And
We
could
learned
you
that
imagine?
during COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Could you imagine not sacrificing your career for your family? That could be your test. The next day you're out of there.
Yeah, we all learned that.
'Cause that's
during
how it
COVID.
goes.
Yeah, we had jobs, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, I have this job, I'm making all of this money, this and that, and like literally a pandemic happened and you were dropped in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can you imagine the people who literally sacrifice time with their family for these jobs that literally drop them in a heartbeat?
Yeah.
And when COVID happened and maybe some of their family members got sick and unfortunately passed, they probably regretted that. So that's like a good way to think about
I'm
that
not
as well.
gonna lie. I was having this conversation today with my family member. I said, honestly, people are so money hungry that might be their test with God.
Yeah.
That might actually be their weakness. Every time they supposed to do something or they're supposed to be there for their family and they sacrifice that family time, the family you created or the family that created you, but mainly the family that you created, right?
Yeah.
If you as a parent aren't there for your child or vice versa,
Yeah.
and you constantly are sacrificing and I want to make this and do this and building your career, and you're sacrificing your family, you would actually never be blessed in your career because the people that love you and love on you, that's your weakness.
Yeah.
And the devil will send, this is an opportunity here. There's an opportunity right here.
And then your child will put you in a nursing home.
Absolutely.
Because there's those people who are like, no. Like,
Yeah.
you thought, like, those people who, like, be like, oh, I did all this for my kid and this and that, but you didn't spend time with them.
Yeah.
Like, do you even know your kid's favorite color? Do you even know, like, what they like, who they are? And you're wondering why they're in a nursing home. But,
Like our family, we grew up like nursing home. They
Wasn't an
started telling us from you were kids. We couldn't put nobody in a nursing home with 3-4 years old, but they let us know then nobody going to a nursing home.
Yeah.
And even now, my grandma, she's 78. Whenever she wants to like threaten us, she'll threaten us and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a nursing home." Like, girl, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But that's her little threat. But
Yeah.
it's sad, like to see some people that don't have family. A lot of the people that are in nursing homes, some of them, their family goes and visit them, spend time with them. But a lot of those people there are so lonely.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's why they end up passing sometimes, and they'll leave their
From,
whole
like, the
fortune
heartbreak of being
to the
lonely.
nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
broken heart is a real thing.
It really is.
Dying from broken heart, from grief and loneliness
alone.
and sadness.
I was in a
broken
grocery store
heart.
yesterday, and I saw this older white lady behind me, and she had on like the full tank and mask and everything. Her cart was full because clearly she needed all of those groceries. She was catching up and restocking on everything, and I'm in the grocery store with my little baby. And she was talking to the baby and, everything. So I was talking to her a little bit, and we were talking about, like, kids and family and, stuff like that. And she was saying that she raised 15 of her grandkids. I think she had 5 kids, and she raised 15 of her grandkids. And I'm like, your grandkids should be here right now ready to take your groceries out of the cart.
Nope.
You know what I'm
Putting
saying?
it in the cart.
And I felt
Yeah.
like I had to literally say a prayer for her before I left the grocery store because I'm like, God, like send this lady
Yeah.
a neighbor or somebody because I wanted to like follow her home. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of help her. But then I'm like, you never know how
Not
people
everybody,
live.
yeah,
and-
not everybody
yeah,
has the
you know,
same
I don't wanna-
sentiments as you, where they, you know, are like Normani, who would drop everything for their parents. Some
Yeah.
people will only chime in when something is wrong, and some people will drop everything and all hands will be on deck when they get sick, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yes, what you were
Normani, I just
saying-
really,
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Culturally, what you were saying on the black culture will drop everything if they're on their deathbed.
Yeah.
That's normally when we come together.
Yeah.
And, that,
Yeah,
and
so
we say,
sad.
oh my gosh, girl, we need to do this more
Yeah.
often. This is why we're coming together. No, why we don't do family reunions?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
You have to spend that time. But Normani, I wish you and your family the best.
Yes,
you guys,
healing energy.
honestly. So here at this table and at Afro TV, we always share our opinions and our point of view. But we want to hear your point of view. So make sure you guys go on all of our socials and comment on everything so we can respond, maybe. All right,
we
guys,
will.
we are running out of time. Catch us next week, same time, same place. Bye.